Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Inspiring Penny. Today I actually have one of the women that truly inspire me, Hannah Delos Reyes. Is that pretty close? I always mess it up. Hannah is a local artist in Kipling who is going to the university in Brandon. And I met you probably last summer. I've been stalking you for before that. Just with your art. But we met at the trade show.
Yeah.
On Main Street.
Yeah.
And you kind of walked me through some of your art, and I actually bought a couple prints, and they're hanging in my office. And so why don't you tell everybody about who is Hannah and what drives you in life? What inspires you?
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah and I am 23 years old. I will be in my 5th year at Brandon University taking my fine arts degree. And what inspires me is actually almost everything. Like, I love people, I love creating, I love like the nature and everything. So, and the diverse culture here in Canada, it helps me create something, inspires me. So it's a lot of like sources of my inspiration.
So have you always been an artist since you were young?
I started drawing when I was 4, but I'm not like artistic. I was just like really creative.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was more into structures and buildings. So yeah, I dreamed of like becoming an architect, but not artist. But things change. So.
Yeah. So what are some of the architecture buildings that you love?
There is one in the Philippines. Actually, it's the Malacanang building. So it's the palace. The palace in the Philippines. So that's where the president resides. So I really love the structures. It's not really it is historical, but I just love how it kind of like connects to Europe and everything. But I also love those historical churches, which is also influenced by the Europeans. So
do you in the Philippines, do you have a lot of like churches like they do in Europe, like the stone? I haven't been to the Philippines yet, but it is on my list.
Yeah, there's actually like not a lot, but there are a few churches in the Philippines that are like hundreds of years old. And they were made during the or after the colonization. So yeah, it's the influence of Europe. It's really big.
That would make sense. So like, when did you start painting?
I think when I was in grade school, but it was more of like watercolor. And poster. Well, that's acrylic, yeah. So yeah, it was more of like that.
So when did you come over to Canada then?
That was 2017, and I was 17 years old. And actually, like, painting and art was just, it was just a hobby because my parents were, or me, I was into more like academics and grades.
Right.
So,
yeah. So you came over into Canada, and you said you came during your grade 11 year? Is that correct? Okay. And art wasn't on your radar at that time, like to go into your secondary education as art?
Well, I was really thinking of taking, like, I don't know. I was thinking of taking nursing.
Right.
Or architecture. But yes, I was really thinking on like going to my university. Yeah.
And then you changed the path and you went into fine arts. So what was it about fine arts that intrigued you?
Well, it was actually just, I don't know, it's not like I didn't plan on taking fine arts, but I applied at the University of Manitoba for architecture,
Okay.
But I think that my application was late.
Oh.
So I didn't get accepted. But then I tried in Brandon, they don't have architecture.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to our high school career advisor,
Mm-hmm.
and she told me that I could take architecture with fine arts degree,
Oh.
but that's after taking my master's in fine arts, and I could take my architecture way easier. So I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay, I'll take fine arts then, and just take architecture after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that still kind of your plan?
I don't. It's not sure. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I'm really liking the art world and the people and whatever I create. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it's very different with, well, it's the same creating something, but it's more of like architecture and buildings in architecture.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be, living the total like artistic world of art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because right now you actually have a couple of your paintings on exhibit,
yes.
which is very exciting. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yes. Well, I heard of this opportunity on social media, so I thought of just applying.
Mm-hmm.
So it was late at night. I was working in the ceramic studio, and then I stumbled on this post on Instagram, and I was like, you know what? I should just try. Like, it's not going to be a bad thing trying.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I'm just gonna submit my application and see if the art juries are going to choose my artwork. If not, that's okay. I still have the room to, develop my skills and everything, so I could reach that stage of art. But then after applying that night, I think it was a week or two, they responded. So I was just happy and everything. So that started on February, and then I had my exhibition in Athens, Greece in March, earlier this year, and I was just like, I was stunned. It was amazing. Like, I couldn't believe it. But then, like, some people might like my art, some people don't like it, it doesn't make sense to them, but some people appreciate it and loved it. And I was like, okay, it's maybe the right location, right people at the right time. So that happened, and after a few more months, I think it was June, again they have an opening for another exhibition. Same country, in Greece, Paris. So I applied and I got accepted, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity because they are a digital experience.
Right.
So I do have a choice of like sending my artworks in Greece, and also like just sending a copy
Okay.
through email. So I chose the email because like if I want to carry my own artwork if I'm gonna be there. So I promised myself to really work hard, so in the future I can do it, like have my physical exhibit in Greece or like Europe. So yeah.
And which paintings were on exhibit?
This one here, Metamorphosis, is actually the first 2 weeks of August. I just posted it kind of late.
Oh, okay.
Because like I was kind of busy. So this one was up in Paris, Greece. And then this one, the Imago of Metamorphosis, it will be in Milan, Italy.
That is so exciting.
That's gonna be the first week of September. Yes.
And this one, the original size is huge.
Yes. That is a big one.
How big? Just so that we can kind of...
So this one is an oil painting. So that the size of this one is 24 inches by 32 inches.
Right.
And then this one though is an acrylic painting, and the size was 24 inches by 48 inches. So it's longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out. I saw it in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not sure where.
Oh, you know what? I think I was starting to paint this when I joined the trade.
Right.
So it was inside the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're absolutely stunning. This is the one that I have the print of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, I'm actually planning on taking the original. Well, the owner now actually allowed me to take the painting for a professionally photograph.
Nice.
So I was waiting for that, but they told me that I can take it and then just bring it back after a few days. Like, they really love the painting.
Oh.
They don't want to let go.
And you sold it, which is
Yes.
really exciting
Yes.
as well.
Yes, I wasn't planning on selling that painting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also told myself to not get too attached to my painting. Like, I love everything I create, but
Mm-hmm.
if somebody falls in love with my painting, I am ready to let go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because it brings someone else joy and it means something to them.
yeah, yeah. So I think that that person actually relates to the emotion of that painting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm like, okay, Tita Jam, hi. So I'm like, yeah, Tita, you can take it. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to paint these paintings? Like, do you start more than one at one time, or do you just concentrate on one at a time?
My brain can't do that. So
Okay.
I have like multiple of canvases out, like during when I'm like painting and something. So yeah, I was working on this one while I just started my first semester last year.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So I did have like a painting for my painting class. I did have my ceramic course.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everything. I'm working on everything.
Oh,
So
all at
I
one
love
time?
yeah. I love to keep myself busy with
Right.
artworks. Yeah.
Okay. Because your ceramics are beautiful as well. And we'll show some
Yeah.
pictures of them. Which do you find, which is your passion, the painting or the ceramics, or do they both share the equal?
Since I loved structures and buildings
Mm-hmm.
and just assembling and stuff. So way before I learned about ceramics, actually like entering university, that's just the first time I learned about ceramics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just an elective for me to take because, well, not elective, but it was required. It's required for my course. And so I took it and I was like, you know what? Ceramics is kind of like building something and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So I told my ceramic professor that I want to kind of change from drawing major to ceramic major. So I changed, but things happened, so I went back to drawing major just to finish off university faster.
Yeah.
So I loved them both, and I put the same effort and love and emotion when I'm creating or when I'm painting or doing ceramics. So
Yeah.
it's 50-50.
And
I would
actually-
say 40-60.
I would, you can tell, like, because I have some of your ceramics, and actually a few of my staff do as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, I don't know, this might not make sense to people, but I can feel your passion in the piece because I have coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Thank
it
you.
is beautiful. And I actually had, I think at the fair or the street fair, I had bought most of your pieces, and one of the girls that were with me were like, oh, I didn't get a piece, so I gave her one of them. It was very hard for me to give away one of your pieces, but I'm like, here, because I shouldn't be the only one that gets to enjoy it. So yeah. So you don't have your own pottery wheel or anything like that?
No, yeah, I was trying to look for like a cheaper one if somebody around the area sells one, because like I can't afford the brand new one
Right.
yet. So
I know actually Nicole, one of the girls that were with me, we were trying to find you one. Yeah, because I have some pottery friends out there, and yeah, so we keep our eyes open for you.
oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So will you be able to do pottery in this next season of your final year, or because you said you were doing your thesis, right?
Yeah, actually, I was just supposed to do my thesis because the credit hours for my thesis exhibition is enough for me to finish my major credits for my degree. But then I'm like, you know what? I've finished all my drawing major requirements, and I'm almost done with my printmaking major requirements, and I'm almost done with ceramics. I'm like, you know what? Why just don't finish everything? So yes, I am taking printmaking and ceramics.
So what is printmaking?
Printmaking is a traditional way of printing. So in this modern world, we have this digital prints, right? So that's like, it's way more convenient and faster. But traditionally, printmaking is the same way, but it's more of like a handful effort and way longer than printing, like having digital prints or like this prints. Yes. I can show you one of my, I do have a few printmaking prints.
That would be cool. Yeah, so that's exciting that you're going to still dabble in it for your final year.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were telling me about something in March that you're going to be...
that is my thesis exhibition. So it's either going to be like the end of March or early April. Yes. And yeah, this final year, my 5th year, I will be doing my thesis exhibition. So it's gonna be both of like the paper, the research, and then at the same time is doing artworks to fill up the school art gallery.
Okay. And do you do... Okay, I've never really looked into what a thesis is, but so a thesis is on one topic that you're trying to do, and will all the paintings then match that topic?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I really love to do my culture, to share my culture. So I was thinking of like, I picked essential artifacts from the Philippines before colonization, like pre-colonization Philippines, and then like after colonization. So those are some artifacts, some like traditional teachings and everything. I wanted to convert that or transform it into a painting, you know, like represent it in a painting. So those kind of like, so I have one theme which is my culture, and the goal was to show it to everybody, and so everyone can learn about Filipino culture more deeply. And yeah, so I will have like different paintings, or maybe ceramics, or maybe printmaking, or maybe drawing or paintings. Yes, so like different artworks, but one theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds really interesting, because that's a way to share to the world of who you are and where you came from, and I love that.
Thank you.
No,
yes.
That's really, really good.
Yeah.
So you start back in September then?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So we're going to get Hannah to show us some of her artwork, and but I really want to thank you for joining me, and we're going to, because you actually have your own Instagram and Facebook for your fine arts, we will put those in the comments so that people can start following. So give a like to Hannah's pages and start following them. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what you have here to show us, and thanks for letting us come into your life.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for following, and give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.
So this is Princess Ardua. So she is a legendary princess in my province in the Philippines. So she is a full-blooded Filipino, and she was a warrior, and her dad was the king, and they protected the province for a very long time. And yes, it's just a big part of me, because that's my province.
Mm-hmm.
And
which province is it?
Pangasinan.
Okay.
That's like 7 hours from Manila. So that's so Pangasinan is like by the water, West Philippine Sea. Yes. And yeah, so she's a warrior and she led the battlegrounds with like full women. So they were all women. And she also have her own mansion in Pangasinan, and it was big, and all of her armors and swords and weapons were there. But some people said that she is just a story.
Oh.
She's not real.
Okay.
But I'm like, well, I think she's real.
It's beautiful.
And this Princess Urduja was a person, or a princess before the colonization.
Oh, okay.
So I think, I can't remember, but it was in my research. It was in the year 1300s or 1400s before the colonization of Spanish. So the title of this, I should have said the title first. The title is Ang Pilipinas Bago España, and in English is The Philippines Before Spain. Yes. So this one was my final painting in my painting 4 class.
And the heart, what does the heart represent to you?
Actually, it was just something to, complete the painting. It was a suggestion from my professor.
Oh, okay.
Because it was empty before, but then he told me to kind of have something, because she's a warrior. Why can't you have maybe a head of a person? I was like,
oh,
that's too brutal. That's too something. That's too grotesque. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe a heart, because some people can still take it, and I can take it painting. So yes. So the title of this painting is Laki Meron. So Laki spells like lake, but it means grandfather in my Pangasinan dialect, and Meron is his last name. What's his last name? Or not last name, nickname. Yeah. So this is my grandfather, my dad's father, and I was emotional during my first year or second year, because that's when COVID-19 hit, and unfortunately he was one of the people who didn't or wasn't able to survive the virus. But life happens, and it was a struggle and everything, so I didn't know how to channel my emotions, everything. So I was mad for a first few months of what happened. We couldn't grasp, or why is this happening? So there were lots of questions and everything, and I promised my grandfather that we will see each other again, but that never happened. So we were very emotional and everything. I was very close to him growing up, and my last few words before we left the house was, be healthy, and we were gonna come back for you. And he promised that he will be, but things happen, life happens. So it's just a painting of my grandfather, nothing really magical or fancy. I just wanted to paint him as my tribute to my grandfather, and as well as kind of a gift to my dad. So this is a portrait of him. They sent me a picture. It wasn't really clear and everything. They didn't have any updated picture of him, so this was just a picture they sent me. This one and this one. So
he has the kindest eyes.
He is very
When
kind.
I see this, I get emotional.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and so a full colored portrait, and just a ghostly, it kind of symbolizes death and eternal life,
And the gold, what does the gold represent? Or is it just to accent the other colors, or?
Yes, it's kind of the same, but gold it's because it kind of represents his kindness and humility and his heart. He was a giver. He was a helper. He was kind of everything. So gold is a representation of him being so precious to me and kind of like highlights everything. So I didn't know how to put it.
You did it. Like, it's an amazing picture or painting.
Thank you.
Like, whatever you wanted to say is definitely comes out.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I'm not the best at like explaining my art, but I hope that my viewers will get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the best part, is that everybody feels a different way when they see something, right?
Yes.
And that's what art's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Sharing.